Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing one more example on quadratic inequalities. In this particular example, the quadratic inequality that we want to solve is x squared minus 6x plus 10 is less than 2. This is the particular quadratic inequality that we want to solve. So as usual, the first thing that we always need to do in this case is to move this 2 to this side so that we have a 0 at the end. So what this is going to do is we're going to therefore have x squared minus 6x plus 8 is less than 0. X squared minus 6x plus 8 is less than 0. So this is the new quadratic inequality that we're going to have by moving the 2 this side. The function that is on the left side of the inequality sign is our function y, or is our function f of x. So y is equal to f of x, and that is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 8. So this is the function that we have. Y is equal to f of x, which is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 8. So the quadratic inequality that we are actually trying to solve here is f of x is less than 0, or y is less than 0. We want to sketch f of x. We actually want to sketch f of x, because if we can sketch f of x, if we can sketch y, then we can do some analysis. So the first thing that we notice is, because the coefficient of the x squared term is positive, we know that our function is going to look like this. And then the next thing that we need to do is to figure out where this function cuts the x-axis. And we know that where the function cuts the x-axis, that's y is equal to 0, or that's f of x is equal to 0. So in other words, we have the quadratic equation x squared minus 6x plus 8 is equal to 0. And now we want to solve that quadratic equation. In this case, we can factorize it, and then we're going to have x minus 2 multiplied by x minus 4 is equal to 0. And this implies that x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 4 when we solve this quadratic equation. So now we can sketch our graph. Because we know that our graph is going to look like this. We know that our graph is going to look like that, where we know that this one is x is equal to 2, and then we know that this one is x is equal to 4. So this is the point x is equal to 2, this is the point x is equal to 4, and this is the graph y is equal to fx, which is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 8. Y is equal to f of x, which is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 8. So now we want to figure out where is f of x less than 0. Well, if you look at this graph, if you look at this region here, f of x is always greater than 0. Because if you take any x value that's less than 2 going this side of your x-axis, your function is always going to be greater than 0, so this region is out. If you look at this region as well, if you take any x value that's greater than 4, your graph is always going to be greater than 0. But what happens if you take x values between 2 and 4? If you take x values between 2 and 4, you're looking at this region, all your values of f of x are going to be negative. They're going to be less than 0. So this region satisfies the inequality. So really, this is our answer. And this is the answer to this quadratic inequality. If you take any value of x that is greater than 2 but less than 4, you're inside this region, and when you're inside this region, your y values or your f of x values are always going to be less than 0. If this was f of x is less than or equal to 0, then we would simply put the or equal to sign there. If it was f of x is greater than 0, then our answers would be x is greater than 4 and x is less than 2, and so on and so forth. So that brings us to the end of the video on this quadratic inequality example. Until next time.